This is he knows everything, bringing you that heat and far. We keeping the foot on the whoop, digs. We keeping the foot on the whoop, digs, and like the Tibetan mastiff that I am, man. Like the Siberian tiger that I am, I'm applying whoop, unlimited pressure. Because pressure does what? He bursts pipes. Alright, let's talk about it. When we sit here and we look at Shawn Porter and we look at Terence Crawford, we see a delineation. We see a distinction, we see a gulf, and we see a separation. To be honest with you, in this fight, all I want is for Shawn Porter to be Shawn Porter. That's all I need. If Shawn Porter shows up and Shawn Porter reveals himself to be the fighter that he's supposed to be, then this fight won't go the distance. Shawn Porter will have mauled Terence Crawford. But Terence Crawford, the barking chihuahua that he is, has deluded boxing fans. You guys have to understand, before there was a Jerome Boots Ennis, there was a Terence Crawford. Let me say it again. Before there was a Jerome Boots Ennis, there was a Terence Crawford. We know Jerome Boots Ennis is the next variation of Terence Crawford. These guys bark, but they don't bite. They're barking fucking chihuahuas. Everything with them has some kind of barking phonetics behind it. Everything with them basically showcases and it denotes that they are barking fucking chihuahuas. Every ounce of the fiber of their being is to fucking bark. Every ounce in the fiber of their being is to basically be chihuahuas get behind the damn fence. Because chihuahuas, what they do is they bark. They bark loud and proud behind the damn fence. But when they're faced with an actual dog that does not bow down to them, and this could be a Bichon Frise or higher level, they find themselves in a precarious situations where now they're barking to their fucking masters. Because they know that this dog right there, if you want smoke, it's free. But you can't smoke for free. If you want smoke, it's free. But you can't smoke for free. If you want smoke, it's free. But you can't smoke for free. If you want smoke, it's free. But you can't smoke for free. They know that this dog right here wants that free smoke. They know that this dog right here will not bow down to what's actually going to take place. Will not bow down to what actually is going to happen. When we sit here and we look at Terence Crawford, the chihuahua barking behind the damn fence, we have to ask ourselves these big hot pocket issues. And what is that? That this guy right here, he does not want to fight Shawn Porter. If you notice, there's always this back and forth, purse bid, back and forth. Is the fight on? Is the fight not on? Back and forth. It's going to happen in November. Shawn Porter needs 9 to 13 weeks of training camp for him to actually be Shawn Porter. I have not heard these motherfuckers report to training camp. This is daunting to me because we're in the depths of August and the fight is in fucking November. We know Shawn Porter's not going to be the phone booth fighting Shawn Porter if he's not already in camp doing his fucking thing. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, Shawn Porter's always in camp. It doesn't look like that because he's doing the Porter Way podcast, and I don't see Shawn Porter really locking in. When Shawn Porter locks in, everything else gets pushed to the fucking wayside. Even a Porter Way podcast, that shit gets pushed to the wayside because he's locked the fuck in. And when you locked in at that level, you can't have no kind of distractions. I don't see that with Shawn Porter. If I see Porter Way podcast is still going on, I see Shawn Porter still being a media head, I can't trust that. And if I can't trust that, then I can't put validation, certification, authorization, and what we would say approval behind it. I need to see Shawn Porter at least in training camp by this fucking week for me to believe it. This is why this fight to me, like Terence Crawford's vernacular, is a chihuahua barking behind the damn fence affair. It's not showcasing anything of the notion. It's not showcasing anything to let me know that it's for real. Because why is Shawn Porter not training? Shawn Porter was training for Earl to True Spence 6 months out. So Shawn Porter already knew what time it was. But that was because he knew he was fighting the truth. Because there's no lies in his damn fist. We left the Mayweather era and we ushered into the Spence era. He knew who he was fighting. He was fighting an era-filled fighter. So he had to fucking bring it. I don't hear nothing about his strength and conditioning coach, Larry Wade. I don't hear shit. I don't hear nothing. So I can't trust this. And if I can't trust it, I can't put anything behind it. And if I can't put anything behind it, I can't certify it. Shawn Porter needs to be in fucking training camp this fucking week for me to take this fight serious. The reason why I'm saying that is because it will give Shawn Porter at least 9 to 10 fucking weeks. And we know Shawn Porter, the real Shawn Porter, will fucking stand up. Will fucking stand up. Will fucking stand up. The real Shawn Porter will fucking stand up. Will fucking stand up. Will fucking stand up. But if you see Shawn Porter fuck around and let the first week of September hit, he ain't gonna be Shawn Porter. And then I know this is gonna be a nosedive affair. The reason why you see Terence Crawford is bragging. He's being braggadocious. Something is off with that. Because when you fight in Shawn Porter, there shouldn't be no fucking bragging. There shouldn't have to be no Earl the True Spence telling you, hey man, you fighting Shawn Porter. You better humble your fucking self. There shouldn't be none of that shit. This is why I don't believe that this fight right here is going to be everything that I thought it was going to be. Now, Shawn Porter has to show up to training camp. Porter Way podcast has to be fucking done away with. All of this distraction has to be out of it. Because Shawn Porter needs his motor. And in order for him to get the motor that he needs, Shawn Porter needs to be locked in. This is how Shawn Porter gets in that hellified shape. He gets locked in. Larry Wade is basically activated. And they're able to do things in the boxing ring that showcases that they are for real. Absence all of this happening, this is a nosedive affair. This is a gatekeeping affair. This is a chihuahua walking behind the damn fence affair. This is a top-ranked strange affair. Now, we've known Al Heyman in the past to throw fighters into the lion's den, dog, and to let the lions figure them out. Basically, throw them to the fucking wolves. We know he will fucking do that. That's if you out of pocket, if he too much don't care about you no more, or if he look at you as a fucking bona fide gatekeeper. We know this to be true. But the question is, has Al Heyman decided that Shawn Porter is the gatekeeper and he just want to make the money off of him? Or will Shawn Porter show up into fucking training camp this week? I haven't heard anything about training camp. This I know this is sounding exactly like Kell Brook. Because it was the same shit. Kell Brook didn't get the full 9 to 13 week training camp. There was no Dominic Ingle. Eddie Hearn didn't want no fucking parts of that because he knew the three-pronged clause of boxing's three-pronged monster was activated of economics, politics, and pugilism. He knew all of that was going to happen. And he didn't want to put himself in a precarious situation where he had to deal with any of that shit. I don't fucking blame him, if you ask me. I really don't fucking blame him. But when it's all said and done, we have to ask ourselves these bigger picture issues. We have to ask ourselves these hot pocket topics. And what is that? If Terence Crawford wants to show that he's for real, and Shawn Porter wants to show that he's going to bring out the real Shawn Porter, then we need to hear that the fighters have reported to training camp. We need to hear that they're getting their affairs in order, they're doing what they're supposed to, because this would have made boxing news a long time ago. Notice the shit it didn't. And pay attention when they had the nosedive affair of Kell Brook. They didn't report training camp until fucking less than 2 months out. So what kind of Kell Brook really was gonna fucking show up? Especially when Kell Brook was going down in fucking weight class. He definitely needed 13 fucking weeks. Because he was going down in weight. We know Shawn Porter's a big boy. So Shawn Porter needs every ounce of every week for him to get his fucking affairs in order so that he can report to training camp the way that he's supposed to. Absence all of this, I know the real Shawn Porter is not going to stand up, and I'm not going to give Terence Crawford, again, another upper echelon of the welterweight division credit. That's the cold-hearted. That's the unadulterated. That's the cut the truth teller fashion. I keeps the foot on the what? Leagues. I keeps the foot on the what? Leagues. PS. If you see this looks everything like Hellbrook, then once again, Terence Crawford would have fought in Earl the True Smith's leftovers, but he wouldn't have fought them the way that Earl the True Smith fought them. Again, that's the cold-hearted, that's the unadulterated, that's the cutthroat truth teller fashion. I keep the foot on the Eeks. I keep the foot on the Eeks. This is He Knows Everything. Check it out.